welcome to today's video. My name's Amy if you're new here, and today I'm going to be upcycling some glasses. As you're seeing from the thumbnail, you will see what these look like. You will know before I know if these come out nice. But I'm scrolling through Pinterest and I've seen so many really cute ideas for glasses. Now there's actually so many ideas. I'm going to insert some of the ones I'm loving on here, just so you can see sort of the inspiration. But actually I think I'm going to go for something really fun with these. I really want to make these super fun, funky, kind of that groovy style patterns on there. I'm seeing this loads, and my home decor, if you've seen my bedroom tour, is really neutral, which I love, and it's so zen. But I must admit, I do crave some funky kind of elements in my life, so I thought I'd make some glasses and then I can have funky drinks in the morning, and that would make me happy. So I picked up these glasses from the charity shop. Let me get these out. So they were £3 for 4. I do need to give them a little once over, but I just thought they were really cute. I must admit, I did want them to be more kind of straight, but they are slightly curved, but I don't think you can really tell. I don't know where they're from originally. Let's have a look. No, I don't recognise the brand. So I thought these were really cute. I'm going to upcycle these, make them look super funky, give them a new lease of life, and to do that I'm going to use my Cricut. I haven't used it in ages and I feel like it's such an expensive piece of kit. I should use it more, so I thought I'd whip out the Cricut today. But you can do this using kind of acrylic pen, like glass pens. If you search up glass pens, I'm sure you'll find lots, and then just read the instructions and sort of how to wash them and how to kind of cure them in. But as I say, you can use glass pens for this. But I'm going to use my Cricut just because, one, I'm not very good at drawing, and two, I just want this to be really clean and kind of a bit easier. So I'm going to use my Cricut. So let's get designing. So for the next couple of clips, make sure to flip your phone around so you can see. But I wanted to add in kind of how I search for my designs and kind of a little bit overview of how I actually do it in the Cricut design space. There's plenty of tutorials online who will tell you how to do this properly, but I kind of just browse online until I see a design I like, and then when I do, I save it to my camera roll. I actually have used this flower before, so I already had it saved to my Cricut, but I make sure just to add it to photos and then just press new project on my Cricut, and then upload a file from my camera roll. I'll then click on the flower and then just erase any of the things I don't actually want it to cut out. For me, this is the background and the center of the flower. Don't worry if it's colored on the thing, it will then just cut out the color when you set it to save as cut. And then you will just put it into your design space and kind of put on as many as you like until it's nice and even and in the pattern you want it. Be sure at this stage to bear in mind what you're actually putting your design onto. You want to make them the right size. I normally actually get out my mat at this point and put my object that I'm sticking the vinyl onto and just see approximately how big I want the vinyl flowers on the glass. I wanted it quite small and kind of scattered, but also bearing in mind with things that have got small little designs, such as I do a dinosaur eye and that does not come out, so I just put them on there as solid dinosaurs, and also with the smiley faces I then knew that I needed them to be a little bit bigger just to make sure I could actually get the mouth out correct. I hope this makes sense. Basically the vinyl, obviously the smaller it gets, the smaller the cutouts in the center will be, so just make sure to bear that in mind. If your design is super intricate, you can't make it too small. So I just repeat this for all of my different designs. You can do this as you go, or you can do it all in one bulk like I did, and then I knew I had all my designs saved and ready to go for when I wanted to start cutting. With this, you can see I had a little bit of trouble getting it to cut out the bit I wanted it to. Just make sure you zoom in loads and then it should be okay, and just persevere. The Cricut app is super temperamental, but it does work in the end. You can also by hand erase the background, so that's also an option. As you can see in this bit, I'm actually lining up my design, which in the end didn't actually work. I had to save it as one big line and then add it on. Otherwise, it just tried to split it up, which was perfectly fine. It just meant I had to save it as one big squiggly line instead of lots of little ones. As you can see for the dinosaur, this picture that I got off Google is kind of white and with a black outline. This is fine as long as you kind of just erase the things you want to erase, then it does work. Just check when you go onto that screen, does it look how you want it to look, before you save it, and then you'll be absolutely fine. Okay, so I've set up my Cricut kind of ready-ish to go. I'm going to now choose my colour vinyl. I got this set off of Amazon, and I'm not gonna lie, it's really hard to work with. It's actually what I did the sign on my window with, and what I've done all of like my kind of vinyl transfer DIYs, but they're actually super hard to use. I just find it's not the best, but hey, it's what we've got, so it's what we're going to work with. It did come with a little scraper and transfer paper, which is what we need, but I'm just going to try and choose a colour palette. I'm thinking like orange, maybe pink. I'm not sure if that's the pink to go for though. Yellow I think for sure would look cute for one of them. I just want to stick with this kind of groovy colour palette. I'm thinking maybe then a red could look quite cute. Yeah, I feel like that's quite fun. I'm not set on the red though. Maybe green. Is that too much of a contrast? I want them to look like they're kind of cohesive, even though they're different. I hope that makes sense. So I don't know. I feel like that is a cute start. I might mix it up, but for now I'm going to cut out this and then kind of see what I'm thinking. Where you can kind of size up what you want. I made my designs kind of approximately, and then I'm going to go back and kind of refine them. But if you look at the cup and kind of where that one line is, I kind of made everything 1 inch by 1 inch. I think that's going to be slightly too big, to be honest. I think I'm going to make them a tiniest bit smaller. But the good thing is that with this, it is kind of trial and error. I have got this pink strip, so I'm hoping I can use this little bit of scrap as one of the designs. So I think I'm going to do that in the smiley faces or the flowers, and let's get cutting. The design's all ready to go on the design space, and it's all connected, so I just want to peel this off. Wow, I should have put on a tripod for this. And then I've got to line this up. Let's put you on a tripod so you can actually see what's going on. I've got to then line this up. This can go the right way up instead of being shiny side down, as it's going on like this, rather than when you do heat transfer, you've got to do it the opposite way. So that is fine. Stick that on, make sure it's on nice and tight, slide it in, and then press the grip thing, and then I'm just going to select cut. Quite sure why some of them kind of went above the cut line. Super strange. Not quite sure if it just didn't load in properly, but I did get some good ones. Let's get them out, and then I will re-put it in and cut some more. But yeah, a bit strange. I'm not quite sure why that happened, but let's get out the ones we have. If you've seen my other Cricut DIYs, you'll know what I'll do. So what I'm going to do is just cut off around the actual pattern, and then use my dotting tool to scrape off the design. I'm just going to kind of get off the excess and leave on here what we actually want, and that's when we'll bring the transfer paper in. Okay, so now the flower is on here. I'm just going to take the backing off the flower, and it'll be stuck to the transfer tape like that. And all we're going to do is actually get our glass and then just place the flower on where we want it. Rub it nice and hard to make sure it's on there. You can use heat here just to help kind of the transfer over. I am also going to use my scraper. Obviously the glass is curved, so that poses a bit more difficulty, but this should be absolutely fine. And then you should just be able to take off the transfer tape and the design be left on the glass, just like that. So I'm going to repeat that with the other flowers I've got. If I need to make some more, I will do, but let's repeat. Just thought I'd pop on to say as well, I'm using the same bit of transfer tape for as many as I can. You don't have to chuck this away straight away, so I'm literally just using it for as many flowers as I can, but there is 2 on there. So I'm going to repeat with the other colours and designs and get back to you. Okay, so as you can see, that's all cut out. I've cut just around the excess. We don't have too much. So I'm then going to grab my transfer tape, measure it up on how much we are going to need. So I'm going to cut it in between the halfway mark of these. The transfer tape literally just acts exactly what it says on the tin. It transfers the design from the kind of vinyl onto the glass. So what you're going to do is we're going to trim off the excess of here. So anything that's not the design that we want transferred on needs to come off at this point. It literally is just a case of lifting it up. Obviously this design is kind of one solid design, so it's a little bit easier than kind of your more intricate design. So bear that in mind when you're making them. There's lots and lots of little holes you're going to get out. It's going to take you a bit longer. We're then going to take the transfer tape off of the paper, just like so. I'm going to lay that flat on the table and then grab my yellow vinyl and just pop that on top. As you can see, I did get quite a lot of excess there. I didn't need that much transfer tape, so I'll bear that in mind next time that I'm measuring up a bit too much. To be honest, I'm actually finding the pink was absolutely fine. It must just be the gold that I've used that was a bit harder to work with, because this has actually worked fine. Or it might literally just be that it's hotter today, so it's got a little bit more sticky. And then you're going to take off the back of the vinyl. So it's just literally the yellow plastic vinyl and the transfer tape on there. I might have spoke too soon. Let's see if this comes up nicely. No, see, that's stuck. I honestly think it's just colour by colour. Some work a lot better than others. Obviously with one big design like this, you only really need to get one end and then it comes up quite nicely. Whereas if you're doing words or something like that, it's definitely a lot harder. Let's see how we're looking. No, it's not stuck. Well, I'm going to carry on working with this and come back to you when it's coming off. I need one more swipe over. So, right, I'm going to grab my glass. Obviously, I have made this slightly too long, but I'm going to place it and kind of just hope for the best. I've never done a design this long before, so I'm just going to place it where I want it, and then try and line it up as best as I can. And just make sure it's really tight on there where it's obviously a weird shaped glass. This is why I wanted a flat glass, to be honest. Let's try and work this round, but I'm going to pop you on a time lapse while I do this because I need to focus. Okay, so that one was a bit harder where I was trying to go the whole way round. Note to self, that is quite a difficult design to do, but we managed it. There's a couple of creases which don't look amazing, but it looks fine. Right, next one I'm going to do the smiley faces in orange. So I'm going to just place my vinyl on shiny sides up. I am kind of putting it a little bit over, just where it cut a bit higher last time. I am just putting it kind of over the line a little bit, just to hope that it doesn't have that happen again. I purposely did the swirl in orange because I didn't want the smiley faces to be yellow, because I know they're normally yellow, but I didn't kind of want that. So I put this on here and then just going to slide my mat in and then press the button to get it to grip upwards, and let's set my smiley faces to cut. I actually ended up doing the dinosaurs in orange just because I didn't want them in green. I have now ended up doing red as the smiley faces, but they look super cute so far. This is actually what it's like when it's cutting out. I just thought I'd show you in case any of you are curious, like a real time. So it is pretty quickly. I think at the moment, yeah, it's just doing the eyes, and then that would be the mouth. You can kind of tell by the movements of what it is. And yeah, it just goes through and cuts them. To be fair, it's super quick. Obviously, depending on what you're doing, this is quite an easy design, so there's not too many cuts to be made, but this is kind of what it looks like. I really hope you enjoyed that little DIY. I know the bits are really like bitty. It's really hard to film this sort of thing because it is just very, very repetitive. But I thought I'd show you anyway because I thought you might want to see. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.